right, this is going to be a quick look at the sample behind a track called Look at Me by Kings Kaleidoscope. It's on their new Baptized Imagination album, and when I heard it the first time, I was just like, okay, I gotta figure out where this sample comes from and throw it in a machine. I mean, that's the first thing I wanted to do. And I looked all over the internet trying to find the version of Ride On King Jesus. I couldn't find it. Then I got distracted with the holidays, but thank goodness somebody out there found it on Who Sampled. So we're going to take a look at this sample, how it's cut up, and how it's used in the first part of the song. This is not a tutorial. If you want Maschine tutorials and figure out how this is done, check out Jeff Gibbons. He's got a great channel. I used his tutorials back in COVID when I bought this machine, and he taught me everything I know. And I just love his stuff. It's really in-depth, has good music knowledge. Anyway, check that channel out if you don't already watch it regularly. But this is just going to be quick, and I'm not going to get into the mechanics of what I'm doing. So this is the sample. It's Washington Children's Chorus. It's the album The Great American Folk Song, from back in 2011, so fairly recent, and it's just this section in the first 13 minutes, and I've imported it into Maschine here, chopped it up into the different sections, and here's it in the entirety. So it starts at the 13th second. Okay, that's all he uses for the first part of the song. And he chops it up and uses it in different ways here. He even pitches part of it down 1 octave. So very cool. The first 2 parts, I created this chop. So it kind of bounces between those 2 sections. You could do one and just hit it repeatedly, but I wanted that feeling of the bounce. I like to chop stuff up into little finer sections just so there's more involved, and you have more control in ADSR mode and with choke groups. So just back and forth 3 times. So this is cool. There's that 3rd section, and then I love that part. As soon as I heard it, I was like, there it is, there it is. So that's the intro. It's just 3 times. And that's it. Very cool. But if you chop that up and export it, each part to one pad on the Maschine, you can easily cover that part. Again, make sure you change them from 1 shot to ADSR mode. So you have control, and then I use choke groups as well. Keep them on the same choke just so that it cuts, going from one sample to the next, it cuts it off. So then this last part. So the cool thing, I got to the verse, and I'm like, where is he getting this low octave part? I love that low octave part. It's probably my favorite part of the song. Just very cool sounding. I love vocal chops, but I was like, where is it in the song? I didn't think it would be in the same section, but it's actually just takes that. And I kind of heard, I could hear it. It was the closest thing I could find. And then I just tried lowering an octave or 12 steps. And this is what you get. So it's just the start of that. It's not the full sample. You got to cut it. And then let go. So he plays that about 4 times. And then he goes back to it at normal pitch. But it's the whole thing. And that goes about 3 times or 4 times. I think 3, and then there's a empty space. But that's basically the whole verse. There's some other instrumentation I'm not going to get into in this, as I'm just looking at the sample. But that should get you started. And then the chorus, of course, uses that same bounce from the intro. And from there, he uses some other samples from Right On King Jesus later in the track, but I just love it. I love songs that are based on a sample like this. It's almost I don't know. I was raised on Tribe Called Quest and Jay Dilla and all that stuff, so I love this. And it doesn't even have any drums, but you can't tell. It's just an amazing song. I love most King Kaleidoscope stuff that he puts together. Just genius stuff. But hopefully this helps if you're trying to figure out what was done on this track. I hope to put more of these videos together and maybe eventually get to where I'm doing more tutorial stuff, but I just don't have the video gear right now. But anyway, hope that was helpful. Thanks.